8 ways to intelligently deal with dumb people. So they say, don't ever argue with a dumb person or don't argue with an idiot because people watching won't be able to tell who the idiot is. And that's because when somebody's dumb or an idiot, whether it's permanently or temporarily due to lots of emotions and them being angry and upset and out of their mind and not thinking clearly, when you argue with them and you get on the same mental level as them, which is several levels dumber or less intelligent than what they usually are, then you're on the same level with them. So people watching are just going to see two people behaving the same way, having the same emotions, and looking just as stupid, right? So when you are dealing with dumb people, you never want to lower yourself down to their level because to you, you're like, oh, I look smart and this person's dumb. But to anybody else watching, they're like, look at these two morons over here. Like, why even bother? So, number one, ignore and avoid them if you can, right? Let's say you don't live with them or work with them or they're related to you or they're your kid or whatever. Let's say you can actually avoid them, then do that, right? Don't even look at them. Don't speak to them. Don't look at them. Don't respond to their messages. Don't laugh at their jokes. Just ignore them. That's it, right? It's intelligent because once they see that they don't have an effect, they're not getting the desired result, they will eventually lock onto another target and go and bug that person, and they will forget about you because they're not getting what they want from you. Now, if you cannot avoid them because they live with you, they work with you, they're one of your best friends or whatever that you see all the time, or they're somebody you know, or they're your kid, or they're even a parent, or whatever it is, right? These next 7 things are a good way, some of the best ways I can think of intelligently dealing with them. So number 2, be patient and stop reacting. So what a lot of people who think they're smart do with dumb people is the dumb person shows up, and then says something or does something dumb, and the person who thinks they're smart, or maybe they are, they react to it. Dumb thing happens, and they lose their mind. The minute you lose your mind, you lower yourself several levels in intelligence, and now you're on the same playing field as the dumb person. Whether or not that dumb person is trying to get you riled up, which sometimes if they're genuinely dumb, they're not trying to. When you react to them and get angry, thinking that you're being smart, you're not being smart. You're being dumb. Here's why. Because getting angry is dumb. I say this in a lot of my videos. Getting angry is dumb. Studies show when you're angry, you have the intelligence level of a freaking monkey because your brain shuts down. Survival instincts take over. Thinking skills go down. That's just the way it works. When you get angry, you're not thinking clearly, right? The angrier you get, the less you're thinking, the less intelligence you're using, right? So number 1, don't get angry when dealing with a dumb person. They say something dumb, blah, 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 and you end up being dumb in return and getting angry and losing your shit, and you react. When you know you're dealing with a dumb person and something dumb happens, recognize what's happening. Oh, there it is. This person's being dumb. And then you're like, ooh, what's that? I feel myself about to get angry. I feel myself about to get upset. I feel myself about to explode. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Because why? Because you understand getting angry is dumb. Getting angry doesn't solve problems. Getting angry doesn't make you look smarter. Getting angry doesn't get things done. And getting angry doesn't get people to respect you. It either makes people think you're a dumbass, it makes people think you're weak, or it makes people not trust you. So, getting angry, reacting to a dumb person is not an option. So what you do is what I just said. Oh, I'm feeling these negative emotions towards this person. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to react to them because I understand that that's not the right choice. Number three, understand that they don't think on your level, right? So even if it's not a person who's permanently dumb, right? Either they're dumb because they're always on social media or they hang around dumb people, whatever it is. Let's say somebody who actually is as intelligent as you, but they're having a dumb moment because they're letting emotions get to them and they're not thinking straight and their judgment is clouded, right? And their intelligence level is dropping down to that of a monkey because their anger is not allowing them to use logic. They're all emotion, right? Understand that in that moment while they're upset, they are not thinking on your level. So let's say you're super calm and chill. This person comes over being dumb, exploding, oh my God, and they lose their freaking minds, right? What you have to do is be like, oh, yeah, I see what's going on. This person's all emotional and upset, and they're not thinking is clear. They're not chill like I am. Like on Pineapple Express. Look at you, suit. Look at me. Kimono, dog. They're not as chill as I am. And I'm going to have to remain chill because I can't talk to them with logic right now. I can't tell this person, hey, calm down, right? You ever tried doing that? You ever tried telling a person who's upset, hey, chill? How often do they do it? They don't do it. They don't chill. They're like, fuck you. So you have to understand when a person's upset, you can't just go at them with pure logic. They're not going to hear it, right? They got this invisible dome over their brain. That's all emotion. And any type of logic you try throwing at them is just going to bounce off. Pew, pew, pew. Logic, it cannot penetrate that emotion. The emotion's too strong. And you have to understand that. So you have to be like, okay, well, this person, whether they're temporarily dumb or permanent dumb, they're not thinking on my level right now. So I can't really approach them with logic. So what you have to do is reverse engineer their emotion and try to understand what is it they're thinking right now. And then once you figure out what they're thinking, be like, oh, and then start talking to them on that level. Number 4, don't insult dumb people or be disgusting to them. You never have a reason for that, right? It doesn't matter how much they piss you off. There's no reason to be that way. So what I've noticed in my life, I've noticed this for years. I started connecting the dots. The people that are always saying everybody's an idiot. Oh, that person's an idiot. This person's a dumbass. This person should have been swallowed. And this person's worthless. People who always walk around calling everybody an idiot, and this person's dumb, and this person's that, and this person's an idiot. I realize that, yeah, they are usually just as dumb as the people they're insulting, right? Because if you are on a higher playing field of intelligence and you understand that people are down here, what intelligent person would come all the way down here to insult this person? It doesn't make any sense, right? So what I've noticed is that the people who are always calling people dumb and insulting them, you're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. It's usually because they are right here and they see this person as competition or something, but they think they're up here, but they're actually down here, right? So when you insult people and you act nasty and disgusting, you dumb yourself down. You make yourself look stupider. And there's just really no reason for it. Any intelligent person is not going to get emotionally bothered by somebody who they know for sure is not on their level. Number 5, stop making it about you. They're thinking about themselves. So a lot of dumb people are very, very, I'm not going to say narcissistic, but they're very like self-centered. They're only thinking about themselves because their brain doesn't work on a multi-dimensional level. It works on just singular. So they're just like me, 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 me. What do I want? I want this. I want this. Like a child. 3-year-old child is not sitting here thinking, I wonder how my mom and dad feels about this. They're thinking, candy, I want it. If I can't have the candy, I'm going to lose my shit, right? So dumb people, sometimes lacking in maturity or whatever, or brain development, or just uh, cognitive development, they don't think. They don't have that emotional intelligence. They don't have that social intelligence that causes them to think about other people in an intelligent way. They usually see the thing they want and they focus on that and they focus on themselves. So you being an intelligent person and dealing with somebody who thinks like this, you can't get offended by it and make it about yourself. Oh, well, this person's acting like this because they're an asshole. No, that person's acting like that because they don't think on a higher level. They don't think in a multidimensional way, the way you do. And you have to understand that. Are you going to get mad because a bird can't talk and it pecks at your face? No, you're not. It's a bird. It doesn't understand, right? If you did get mad, that'd be really stupid. But so you have to not look at them like a bird, but look at it as somebody who doesn't understand the things you do. So you shouldn't expect the things out of them that you would expect out of yourself. You have to think at a higher level and be like, oh, okay, they're about themselves. They're not really thinking about me when they're doing this thing. They're just thinking about themselves. Got it. Number 6, don't be direct. They get offended and they're too dumb to get it. So I learned this the hard way. I thought that when you're dealing with dumb people, you could just get in their face. Hey, right? It doesn't work. Dumb people, instead of taking the time to think about what you're saying, they shoot straight to being offended. Oh, I can't believe you said that about me. They make it personal. They take it personal. And instead of thinking about the way you're thinking and putting themselves in your shoes and trying to understand you as a person and where you're coming from and why you're saying what you're saying, like an intelligent person, they automatically think me, 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 me. You're attacking me. You're saying this about me. You're hurting my self-esteem. You're hurting my ego. You are messing with me. Because they're dumb, right? I mean, I don't mean to keep calling them dumb, but I mean, it is dumb to think that way. So dumb people, or people who are temporarily dumb or permanently dumb, if you are very direct with them, 99% of them are just going to get even more upset, more dumb, more irrational, more emotional. They're not going to be like, oh, well, that's all you had to say, Bob. No, they're just going to lose. They're going to lose their shit, right? I learned that the hard way with a bunch of people. Number 7, brainwash them, lead by example, and flank them. Okay, so brainwashing them is kind of going back to what I was saying, thinking on their level. So if you understand that somebody's just too dumb or not intelligent enough to think the way you do, and you can just see things in black and white, A, B, C, D, and you're like, got it, and you move, and they don't see it that way, you have to understand first the way they see it. So if they don't see it in black and white, A, B, C, D, ask questions. Figure out the way they see it. Hey, explain to me how you're seeing this thing. And they'll be like, okay, I see it in twigs and rocks. And you're like, okay, that makes no sense to me, but whatever. So if you need them to understand something that you are trying to tell them to get them on the same page with you, you can't talk to them in black and white A, B, C, D. You got to start talking to them in twigs and rocks. Okay, come here, Bob. See these 2 twigs right here? And you see these rocks? These are what these are. I'm trying to get this over here. So maybe you'll understand it better if you move these twigs here and do these rocks. And they'll be like, oh, I got it. Okay, so this is what you look for. You're like, yes. Sometimes you have to brainwash them. It's called flanking them. There's other people, right? Let's say people have unhealthy diets and you want them to eat better. You can't just tell them, you need to start eating better, blah, blah, blah. They're not going to do it. You have to brainwash. You have to lead by example. You have to say, look, here's what I'm trying to tell you. You see these chicken and vegetables I'm eating? Here's why I'm eating them. And you explain it to them. And every time you eat it, you send pictures and you try to lead by example. Look, I'm not trying to make you do something you don't enjoy or that sucks. I want to show you that I do it too. And here's the results I'm getting. you know? So you lead by example. Sometimes you just can't tell them, hey, do this, that, and you'll get these results. And they'll be like, okay. No, it doesn't work that way. They'll be like, I'm not doing that. That's dumb, right? They're too dumb to understand what you're trying to tell them. So you have to lead by example and gently lead them by the hand in the direction you want to go. That's also called flanking them, right? It's just a military term. Military term for flanking somebody is you just come up on the side where they can't see. You come up the rear and you get them from that direction. Sometimes approaching a dumb person head on is just not going to work. They're going to see you and they're going to run the opposite direction. So sometimes when they turn, you got to be right there and you got to be like, hey, remember me? So, and number 8, speak their language. Start on their level. Okay, so this is kind of like the third time I'm saying this, but there's several ways to explain this. Okay, so sometimes when you think on this level, dumb people don't, and you can't keep communicating with them on this level. They're never going to get it. So what you have to do is you have to reverse engineer their language, reverse engineer their behavior, figure out what language they're speaking, put yourself as an intelligent person, put yourself in their shoes, understand what they're thinking, why they're thinking that, why are they feeling that way, how is it affecting them? And as an intelligent person, once you start to understand that, then communicate with them from that point using their language, their words. Okay, Bob, so I understand you feel this way about doing this thing. And they're going to be like, yeah, okay. And then you communicate, and then you don't just jump straight back up to, well, here's the way I see it. It doesn't work that way. Speak to them in their language until Bob feels that you understand him. Hey, I like this guy. He's speaking my language. I feel he gets me. Once he feels you get him and you understand him, then he'll be like, oh, I feel like I'm getting what I want. So that way, when you are asking for what you want from a dumb person or a dumber person, they are more likely to give you what you want. You have a connection there. You're syncing up with them and the communication is able to flow. The understanding is able to flow. But sometimes you have to change your language. Sometimes you have to come down to their level and explain things to them on that level, right? You can't be like, well, if you can't communicate with me up here, you're just an idiot. Go jump off a bridge. Only people on this level with them communicate like that. You can't communicate like that. You got to be smart enough. If you're up here, you have to be smart enough to understand. I temporarily have to come down here and hang out with them in order for us to build rapport with each other and start connecting so that we can start moving forward together, right? So 8 ways to intelligently deal with dumb people. Number 1, ignore and avoid them if you can. Right? Some dumb people are just too arrogant and dumb to even waste your time on them. Number 2, if you have to deal with them, be patient and stop reacting. When you react and you get angry and emotional, you lower your own intelligence and you look just as dumb. Number 3, understand they don't think on your level. Like I said, that was one that took me a long time to figure out. It really took me a long time to figure that one out. People are dumb because they're not thinking on the same level you are, and you can't get upset about that. You have to just understand it and be like, oh, I see what's going on. Number 4, never insult them or be disgusting to them. You just lower your own intelligence as a person. Number 5, stop making it about you. They're thinking about themselves. They don't think on a multi-dimensional level like you do, and you have to fully understand that. So you can't take it personal when they're only thinking about themselves. It's not like they're thinking on the same level as you are, and they're consciously choosing to be assholes, or they're consciously choosing to be dumb. They're not choosing it. They just are that way, and you have to understand that that's just the way it goes. Number 6, don't be direct. They get offended, and they're too dumb to get it. Sometimes you got to flank them. You cannot be direct because they just won't get it. You could be like, the sky is purple. And they'll be like, no, it's not. You know, you just can't do that. You have to be like, okay, so tell me, what color do you see when you look into the sky? I see blue and brown. What? Okay, well, that kind of seems purple. Okay. It's blue and brown. Okay, you see that blue and brown thing? And then you start communicating with them on that level. Number 7, brainwash them, lead by example, flank them. Sometimes you cannot explain to a dumb person what it is they need to do. You just have to do it and keep showing it to them until you plant the seeds in their brain and let it grow in their mind, and they will eventually get it. Number 8, speak their language, start on their level. Again, they don't think like you do. They don't think, they don't use the same words, they don't have the same thoughts. Sometimes you have to be the bigger person and you have to figure out, okay, I'm having connection issues with this person. Reverse engineer the person, get down on their level. Hey, Timmy, explain to me the way you're thinking, or what are you thinking about this? And once you start having a better idea of what's going on in their brain, then you can organize your brain better to be able to get along with them, right? It's just the intelligent thing to do. So we all deal with dumb people in our lives, and I'm sure a lot of the time we mishandle it. So with this information, next time you're dealing with a dumb employee, a dumb coworker, maybe a kid, spouse, parent, friend, sibling, whatever it is, the smart thing to do is to be non-reactive and think about all this stuff and try to actually use your intelligence when dealing with them rather than coming down to their level.